call this meeting to order. Krista?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here about the fireworks ordinance that I thought we had, but I guess it got lost somewhere, somehow. I don't know what that situation is or was, but we do need an ordinance in the city of Piedmont. And there's speaking with a lot of residents, and a lot of them feel the same way. It's ridiculous. I'm not opposed to fireworks, but they've been letting them off since last week, and quarter sticks and everything. So I'm here to ask if you all can please come up with some kind of an ordinance.
Okay, so I was gonna call and try to get Kaiser's and see how theirs was set up.
Yeah, so that's they were going on for.
I've been hearing it too, and I've been getting a lot of complaints,
I
so.
know where a couple of those come from.
This was in the paper, I think,
Too
a
sure.
couple of weeks ago, there were ordinances in the paper, but I don't remember. But I do know that they have one now. And like I said, I'm not totally opposed to them, but I can't understand doing it 2 or 3 weeks before. And I mean, it's constant. You can't even walk out in the yard. And I did speak to one person that was letting them off, and honest to goodness, I hate to say it, but they were impaired one way or another, and it was bad. And I turned around and walked away. I'll quit, I'm sorry, and I no longer, started up the hill and went back, right behind me. So, I don't know. I realize that law enforcement is busy with more, I guess, important things. I did call my stepson, who is Monroe County Deputy Sheriff, and he said the only thing really he could do would be to ride by, and if he's out doing it, to say, hey, you're disturbing the peace, because he wasn't sure about the ordinance either, which, they don't want to get in trouble. But when he came up, he was already gone, so. I realize there's only so much that they can do, but we really need to do something.
Like I said, if we have an ordinance, we can do more, so.
But I thought we did pass it.
I thought we did too.
I
I
thought
can't
we
find
did
it.
not.
She
That
told me
was supposed to be on
June.
the 4th of July, with fireworks in the town, was only supposed to be set out on the 4th of July, 4th of July only. That was the only day that we authorized it, on the 4th of July. And like she said, I have been sitting out there and watching the same thing for the last week or so. And last night was really, I don't know who was setting them off last night, but they had video of it on Facebook. Okay, so, I don't know who it was on the other end of the hill, but they had a nice show for a little while last night. But yes, we do have an ordinance on that. Okay?
Yeah, but can you, I'm sure, we got state rules, you got state
Right.
regulations.
Well, actually,
And whatever we do, you can't supersede whatever the state says.
Right, in the state of West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, anything that goes a certain amount, a certain feet in the air is illegal. Okay?
So they could be
Same
fined
with-
for that.
Right, same way with firecrackers and maybes, that's all illegal stuff, okay, to be letting off. That's a quarter stick of dynamite going on.
The only ordinance we could find is about the sale.
Yeah.
All the sale.
You're not allowed to sell them within the city limits, but we couldn't find anything without an ordinance about,
I thought we did one here a couple of years
And
ago.
Krista said, I'm gonna open the ordinance. I was
when-
hoping.
I came to the meeting.
Yeah, when Chris brought it to our attention, I thought we set something up and had it set up that the only time that you could do that was on the 4th of July.
Try to find out and try to get Robbie out.
I'm almost positive that.
Yeah, he called me, and he told me the same, or he left a message and told me the same thing. The only thing that they could find was that you couldn't sell them, within the city limits. But, I told him, or left him a message and said, well, I thought that we worked something out, and I don't know what happened. Like I said, it was in the winter time, so I'm thinking it was January or February, because I wanted to get with you all, because I knew you couldn't just say, okay, now we have an ordinance that you probably had to, draft something or whatever. And I thought that we had one. I thought that
This
was.
past winter,
No, it was
No, it's
last
been
year.
a couple of years now. I think this is the 3rd year.
It was not this past January, but last year. I want to say January because it was there was snow on the ground, but it was,
Well, that's what I'm
it's on the
trying to
ground.
remember. I thought it was a little earlier than January.
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was somewhere around September because
No,
they were
no.
setting the fireworks off.
No, it was after that.
Well, if Barry will try to get Robbie out over here and see if he can't at least warn, if we can't find an ordinance. If we found an ordinance, I don't think we can find them.
Can you do it, can y'all make an ordinance if you can't find one, can you have?
Yeah, we can,
You do
you gotta go through the
Yeah,
process.
I understand, but I would really appreciate it, you know,
Okay.
thank you.
Rita?
Due to my lack of hearing, I have to come up here so I can hear you. I was just wondering if we are ready for the 18th. If the mill is going to be black on the 18th, will we have water after that? I see nothing that looks like we're getting prepared for that. So I was just wondering if the lines from the Asheville Street and up the hill across the bridge and all that, I see nothing happening. I see nothing happening. It's not saying nothing is, but I was just wondering, are we going to have water the 19th?
I just talked to Glenn Gilbert, the mill manager up there right now. That's going to be delayed to at least the middle of August, okay, as far as them supplying us with water. The line from Westernport to Loop hadn't even been started. They don't have their permits yet. They don't have their easements. Now, the line itself is 2,400 feet. It's not going to be, a couple of weeks they could get it done, but they haven't even started yet. So they told me at least into August before any of this takes place as far as the mill being dark. Right now, the tie into the raw water line is they've done all the prep work they can. They got the vault up around it. The only thing they're waiting on now is a flow meter. And what we'll do is we'll get it hooked up. So whenever they shut water off, whether it's August, September, all we'll have to do is open their valve and we'll have water. There should be no break-in service.
Our lines are already ready.
Yes, right now, the line we're tying into is the line they're using right now to supply us with water. It's going to tie right into it up on the turn at the mill and supply us with water. So the only change is going to be at the Verso facility, a crossover line put in with the flow meter and pressure reducing valve and everything that's come with it. But as soon as they get the flow meter in, they're supposed to let me know, and we'll put the word out there. We're not going to go on it until we absolutely have to. As long as we can get free water off the mill, we're going to do it. But we are ready, so there'll be no break-in service.
That was my question. Thank you.
Okay?
And I got another call about people not cutting their grass. I'd like to remind people, take care of your property. If you're out of town, find somebody in town maybe, keep your grass cut. And the Public Service Commission just called me this morning and there was supposed to be a water rate meeting here on July 23rd. They have canceled that. That will be in Charleston now.
The meeting will be in Charleston?
They said it was canceled here, and I said, is it canceled, or are you gonna have it? She said, they're having it in Charleston. I said, do we have to be there? And she said, no.
You want to bet?
Excuse me, I got that same one too. They are just setting it up so it'll be remote, so we can like dial in online, we can dial in by phone, so we shouldn't have to go there, but we should be able to attend, and the same with the public. The public will be able to watch the teleconference of it, and there'll be a number they can call in if they have questions even. So they should have it pretty well set up. So even though if we don't, it's a long way to go for that, so we shouldn't, any of us shouldn't have to go.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence? You got something, Mr. Harvey?
Thank you.
Did you hear something?
Is that this?
Yeah, that's just a quote for the upcoming year.
For,
The equipment they use to read the meters, quarantine.
oh, the automated equipment,
Huh?
the automated equipment that's coming?
No, what they're using now.
Okay,
This is every year for the water.
okay,
And there's a service agreement that's, so much, and then supposedly they come and fix anything that breaks.
well, I take it we do this every year?
Yes, if it's approved.
Hmm?
If it's approved.
Yeah. When's it need to be in?
Is there a due date? He just sent that email.
July 15th.
Okay.
What else would you, I'd like to read?
Okay.
I'm just seeing it on,
Well, the next meeting's the 15th, so then have it on the, we'll put it on the agenda.
there.
And we can contact them and say, hey.
Okay.
Anybody else have correspondence?
That was actually sent back in February, but it was never placed in the office anywhere. And he had the old email. So,
Okay.
Okay, officers report.
Me first. First thing I'd like to do is thank everybody for your prayers and concerns about my daughter. I was able to bring her home last week, and so just to give you a little bit of an update. So she's doing well, and thank you again, Ron, for asking. And we've come a long way after being in the hospital over a month and a half or so, but we're progressing well. So she's at home. So thank you again
That's the
for your
best.
concerns. Huh?
That's the best medicine.
Yes. So I've been we've been dealing with that for the last month and a half or so. So thank you for your concerns, your prayers, and for asking me. And, so thank you very much. Okay, I want to give balances of our major accounts. Our general account, we have $393.79. That's in the general. The sewer account, $1,836.32. And currently in our water account, we have $2,116.32. I'm gonna pass these around, and you guys can look at those. If you got any questions, I direct them to Ms. Carey, our city clerk, sitting over here. And also, this is our accounts payable. This shows what bills we have due, what we've currently paid, and what's the balance of all these bills. We'll read one of those, but I'm going to pass this around, and you can look at those. You can look at what's on here. If you have any questions, again, direct it to our city clerk over here. She has more answers than what I do. But I do want to give you the balance of the IRS, something that we inherited, and we have been working to try to get that taken care of. We currently have that at $9,682.19. And that's way down from what it was. Problem that we inherited, and we set about it. Carrie done a wonderful job. We set about to correct it. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what you do. You find a problem, you correct it. You inherit, whether you inherit it or not, you correct it. So I'm going to pass that around too. And you can look at that. And I have a couple things that I'd like to bring up. I want to Draw back on what you said, Paul, about the weeds and stuff in the town. I want to remind people, if there's trees and stuff that is growing from your property and it's obstructing traffic, as far as I'm concerned, and I'll bring this up for discussion, and see if everybody agrees with me, that that's the way I see it, that's your responsibility.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, that's not the state's responsibility, that's not the city's responsibility, that's not your neighbor's responsibility. That's your responsibility as a property owner. If your weeds, your trees are hitting vehicles and cars as they're riding by and they're just growing from your property, weeds are growing, my neighbor's weeds are growing over on my yard, that's not my responsibility, that's my neighbor's responsibility. So I just want to remind people that you are liable, and you guys can agree or disagree, you can comment if you want, open for discussion. But we need to remind people that you are liable for the weeds and the trees that are growing from your property and that are growing over on other people's properties that they're having to deal with. And the cars are getting scratched. We got up here on West Harrison Street. You can't even ride across West Harrison Street without getting your car scraped. So the property owners and the property, I don't know who the property owners are, but just remind them that they're liable. They're responsible for that. That stuff is growing from their property and they're responsible. They're responsible to cut that back and to maintain it. That goes along with what you were saying, Paul. And coming down Hampshire Street,
Same thing,
same thing.
same thing. I gotta dodge it every morning.
And that's not a state road problem. I contacted the state road and they won't fool with that.
Are you done it?
Yep, you probably done it too. They won't fool with that.
That's Robbie Robinson's problem.
Well, I'm not saying whose property it is, but it's,
But
but,
that and the other fellow that used to live there, what was her name? The White House down over the hill there, when you come up around the turn right there, that little White House. But I don't think anybody's living in there now. See, he owns the section of that down there too. We don't always take care of that.
yeah, but we shouldn't have to take care of that. I mean, that's that's on the property owner. And we have this all over town, just not in those couple places, it's all over town. And as we go about this process of trying to clean up the town, which is what we're trying to do, we need to remind people, and that's what hopefully this will get out, reminding people you're responsible for what's coming from your property. That's not the state's problem, that's not the city's problem. That's your problem that's coming from your property. You have to maintain your property, and so I'm not mentioning no names. We all know we all know where this is at. You can't ride down some of our streets without getting your car scraped. Don't ride on some of these streets with a new car.
Never.
I mean, and that's sad, but that's the truth. That's fact. So I want to bring that up. Discussion. Anybody comment on that? But I feel property owners liable, and we can always take it to the next step, right? We can take it to the next step and divvy out fines or whatever. That is within our right. I mean, we have ordinances already on the books that you have to maintain your properties, and I don't think we're pushing that. I don't think we need to push that. You know, you can't live here. You can do that if you live out in the country. And if you move to the city limits, we have rules and regulations here. And that's one of them. So, I want to bring that up. And I want to give an update on the stage. We're still progressing on the stage. And hopefully people will continue to buy those bricks, be a part of what we're trying to do here. Buy those bricks. Get your brick, help us build the sidewalk and the stage and buy these shirts. We've sold a lot of shirts, and hopefully we'll sell a whole lot more. I'd like to double and triple that number that we have right now.
I'd like to get an order in the next 2 weeks. I'll put it in the newsletter for people to order to get their money in and get them ordered so we can get that out of the way.
Good.
Because we're around 100 shirts right now.
Hopefully it'll be 200, hopefully people want to show their pride and we'll buy them, we'll get those shirts. That's what it's all about. And the third thing I have, the last thing, is as we continue to try to clean up our town, I talked to Paula, we talked to Eric, Carrie, the mayor and Kaiser about using their street sweeper, cleaning streets up here. It's not that Eric and them are not doing a good job, because they are. They got the downtowns, that looks nice with just a Bobcat. But I would like an annual street sweeper to come and clean our streets. I'm just not, I'm talking about our major streets. Downtown, the Kenny House Hill, east and west Hampshire are big streets. West Fairview and maybe streets in the Orchard. We can't do all the little streets, but all those streets. But in order to do that, we have to cut the weeds that are along the curb. That has to be cut. The street sweeper will not work until we do that. So that has to be done first.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I've always had a problem with Piedmont property. Okay. They refuse to do anything at school. So we've been taking care of the trees and everything else down all the way up through there. That's their ground. So what we want to do now that they're closed up? Because it's a mess back there.
It is a mess.
It's a mess back there. And like I said, I, 2 years ago, sprayed about 3 gallons of spray out of my own pocket all up and down that. And it did a good job too, all the way up and down, like I said, it's just growing back. I had contacted the one lady, but she's no longer was in charge of that. What was her name? Blonde hair lady. She moved to Charleston now, I think. She used to be up there. I had to give up a little bit, but they just act like they care less. So what are we going to do now with that? You know, I mean, they're not going to take care of it.
Well, Greg knows.
See,
Greg,
Bruce,
Glenn Gilbert, maybe mention it.
I even talked to Bruce,
Dillinger?
Dillinger, because he's the maintenance, he was the grass cutting man over there, and I talked to the people that was over there, and he said that they don't have the authorization to go over there and cut that. And I'm like, the stuff is growing clean out in the road. Well, that's when we took and we cut it back here about 3 or 4 years ago, we cut it all back, but now it's growing all back.
And we cut it last year.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, we cut it last year for the cleanup.
The high school, I mean, all the way through there, it's,
Let me talk to Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn gave me permission last year to do what we did, so he said, do whatever you want. So,
to see, that's.
I was hoping they would do it, but
Isn't that the same as what we're dealing with on
I agree with you.
the street, the rest of them? I mean,
I
it's-
agree.
It's privately owned,
yeah,
so if we have to cut theirs, then the rest is gonna say, well, you need to cut mine.
exactly.
So, I mean,
It's their property, it's hanging out over
right.
there.
I mean, you got the fence growing in trees in there that's this big around, and the fence in the center. I mean, it's,
You talking about Miranda Kessel?
yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that was, and she acted like, okay. So, all right, well, no problem then.
If I have to, I'll contact the corporate. Frank Sanders has handled all
Well, like I
Property
said,
sale.
if you ride back through there, and from there back,
It looks bad.
it's
Bad last year.
And now the gas plant's gone, what do you see? That, so I mean, so if we have, if we have to cut that, then it's gonna be, well, you need to cut that on East Hampshire Street, that's state highway, but it's not our road.
Well, I don't think we have to cut it. I don't think it's ours to do it. We did it last year. We just did it.
Oh, I
We're tired of
know,
looking at it.
yeah, we've been going for
We shouldn't
years.
do it.
Like I said, I took 1 year and, well, maybe been longer than that, 3 or 4 years ago, and I took like 3 or 4 gallons of, ortho ground control, which is animal familiar and every, you know, all, I don't use nothing else. And, it killed for a good year and a half, and then it started growing back again.
Doesn't last forever.
And like I said, poison spray is not cheap. Okay, that's why we really don't have much now, because it's not cheap. It's like $20, $30 a gallon for that ortho that I use, but like I said, it kills your buddy.
Let me make a comment on your street cleaner from Kaiser, because I think I talked to Greg on it. We have to have a place to dump it, because it cannot make it up the reservoir. So to bring that up here, we have to find a legal place where you can dump it once it cleans it, because it's water-based. I think it's a 160-gallon tank on that. So we would have to, I've talked to them down Kaiser, we'd have to look in to make sure there's someplace available to do that. But we'll keep moving on.
All right. Well, while we're talking about that, there is going to be a charge for use of that, because they're not going to let just anybody drive that. They're going to send the driver. So I don't know what the charge is going to be, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know. We'll go from there. But in addition to that, I would like to put a plan together. In fact, I'm already doing it, but it was okay with Paula. Continue with the plan, to draw up a plan, what streets we want, and you guys can give input if you'd like. What streets, so we can have people move their vehicles, so we can get a good cleaning on these streets. Designate the time we're going to be on this street, such and such an hour. Would you please move your vehicles? And, so on and so forth.
That's one thing we need to do. We need to get somebody up here to go through town and start ticketing these vehicles that's sitting all over. There's a Dodge truck sitting up there on the street you're talking about right now. It's been sitting there with no tags, nothing on it for quite a while. And it's still sitting there. Okay. Along with, on down the street, there's a few others all over town. That's been a big issue too for a while. But there for a while, they were putting red tags on them, and we were hauling them out of here. We were hauling them out of here. Yes, indeed. I mean, we were hauling them out of here. And it's at their cost.
Okay, Robin, you're up.
I'm up.
You're up.
Before the Parks and Recs go, there's really not much to report. I defer back to Eric to bring us up to date on any repairs that have been done at the park, or signage on Ashfield Street that we talked about, or even signage back at the park in regard to people that let their dogs use it like a toilet.
Okay, so we've got on that list I showed you, the health department, we've got everything done. We painted the monkey bars, we filled in the cracks in the slide. Where that big seam split on the, I don't know, I guess they're kind of like inverted monkey bars.
Yeah,
We filled that with Jiggy well. What else was there? Basically, the only thing left on that list is the mulch. That's all we got left to do as far as that health department list, so. Everything else. I still need to get the signs, the dog signs.
Yeah, because now that the restaurant's back open, traffic's heavy, there's U-turns all over the place, something else is gonna get destroyed. But Paul had mentioned too that Jack, so kind of bouncing back and forth between the two, that Jack had offered to donate mulch, so all we have to do is go get it spread. And then that'll complete the list, and then I can get in contact with the health department, and that'll be done for another year.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you much.
Okay, Rick?
I don't really have anything going on that I know about. My boss may never might have.
Okay, so, of course, I was gone for, a week or so. But since I've been back last week, we're still focusing on the CSOs around town. We've been doing a lot of, last week we went around, started from the top and worked our way down with the back trailer sucking out and backing out a lot of, our drains to get them clean. We didn't get finished, obviously, because of the big leak that happened here on Saturday. We've kind of been working on that, and then we had a kind of a pothole there because we're basically, everything's done, we just need to get the seal. that apparently is pretty rare or something. I mean, it's hard to get, I guess.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's on its way though, so once we get that, we'll get that fixed up and then covered back over. We're also still flushing hydrants, same thing, working our way across the hill. We did a couple meter repairs. We had a meter bust over here on Trinity, by the Trinity Church. We got placed the bottom on that, but it's not gonna mess with the building or anything. It's just a part replacement. We did a little bit of maintenance on the back trailer and the mini excavator, because really, before that leak, the first time we pulled them out, and really like got down dirty with them, so we've done that. That's really all we've done since I've been back. And then I've been bouncing back and forth between that and water.
Did we ever get you the hose for?
Not yet, no. No.
I only think you guys were all coming out Saturday, that was a mess.
Yes, it was.
And Greg's son Josiah came up and helped out tremendously.
We got a look now, but I lost like 4.5 feet of tank, so. But we're good now. We're back up to where we need to be. That's all I got really. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, Greg?
Yeah, already covered for Frida what's going on at the mill. He's gonna keep me updated if it continues to run longer than that, which would tickle me to death. They are waiting on the flow meters, is what's on back order. Me and Paula had a conference call yesterday just to go over, make sure everything's in line for the grant money. As far as the leak on the corner up there, it is the gasket that's leaking. We was able to order one in for $100. I told them to overnight it, cost another $100, but that's fine. We are going to have to, and I'll get with you, Eric, when this meeting's over. We're going to get 10 new bolts, stainless steel. Make sure we don't run into another rust issue. And I don't know whether we have a torque wrench
I do, I think so.
on the town. We will have to have it available tomorrow because they are to be torqued. And we're going to have to dig out a little bit to make sure we can get the torque wrench in on the back side of the valve. I'll apologize. We had to shut the water off pretty quick the other day to try to see where the leak was. I believe right now everyone in town has water until we get this done, but we are going to have to shut it off again. What I'd like to do, and you can tell me if you think this timing's good, Eric, is put the word out there on the website and that around 8 o'clock tomorrow we'll be shutting it down. That gives us an hour to get all the equipment set up, dig out around the valve. But it's, even at that, it's going to take a little while to drain a 10-inch line.
Right.
So we can take, all we got to do is take the 10 bolts off, take the cap off the valve, put the seal in, bolt it back up. Hopefully.
The biggest part is going to be waiting for the line to drain. That's going to be like, as far as length, yeah, it's going to be the biggest.
So you're going to be shutting the water off?
It's probably going to hit wet Hampshire Street.
Well, I'm not, yeah, that's fine. Like I said, there was only one complaint that I seen on there about it, you know, so.
Well, and when it comes down to it, going by the water maps, it's kind of hard to see. We thought we was going to be able to do it. Right now, the 3 valves on the corner of Childs Avenue and Fairview are shut, but we have water going to everybody, backfeed from different systems. We was hoping we was going to be able to do that in Hampshire, but I don't think we are. I would say, once we get the water down, 1 to 2 hours, we should have water service back on.
That's the only street you shut down, right?
Right.
Is Hampshire?
With the exception of ones that were backfeeding, yeah.
I need a list of those streets.
Well, yeah, the only thing that's the only ones we would have to notify would be on that.
And I got several phone calls.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh, well, I seen one person on Facebook complaining about it, and it was like,
I don't pay attention to
you know,
Facebook.
I can't, you know,
You gotta shut the
what
water
are you
off.
gonna do, you gotta leave, you gonna shut the water off, you shut it off, okay, I mean.
Yeah. And like I said, we will tell people and try to have everybody prepared, because I can't guarantee some of these cross lines in town ain't gonna take a small street out that we didn't realize. Because we drained the Aaron Street tank the other day, just in a little bit of time. So we just want to give them forewarning. There's no way around it. It's going to have to be shut down long enough to fix. We're lucky it's a gasket. We thought it was the valve. The valve's $2,000. But the valve looks like it's in good condition. I had the guy from Kaiser come up, who's a bit of an expert on the actually rebuilding valves. He said he's never seen a seal come out like that, but everything else looks like it's in order. The valve ain't that old, you know. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of. We'll put it out tomorrow because these guys are going to be off Friday for the holiday. So as far as the high pressure hose you need, what we're trying to look into, we're being told there's still some grant money left that if we can get it through the grant, we're going to do that. So,
Talking about for the jet, right?
yeah, but we haven't found out for sure yet. We're going to try to go through that grant.
Alright, that works.
And I'll contact the mill. They can come back to normal operations. Once we took his tank down to 3.5 feet, I called up the mill and they bumped up the amount of water we got to get back. Because if that leak would have went much longer,
Yeah.
town would have been out of water. I'm glad we was contacted.
Possibly air lock.
Yeah.
And I did send 911 contact information they asked for. I put my name, your name, chief of police, and Eric's name on it.
That's fine.
Fax it out. Unfinished business. Did you cover everything under order, Siri, you want to cover?
I believe you did.
City vehicles?
I'd hope to have that publicized this week, but this leak has pretty much taken everything off track. I'll be getting the information that we need to put out there, start accepting bids on what we went over last week.
So you want me to put that on there for next time then?
You can, yeah.
New business, Parks and Rec, I just threw that on there. Got everything. Eric said he's taking care of everything. Yep. The pool's running real well. Crowds, a lot of people from Kaiser's been coming up. They've been doing real good every day, selling a lot of stuff.
What's the price on the shirts, Paul?
They're 12.
And the bricks were 35.
Yes.
Now the shirts, if you get in the larger sizes, like my 54 petite, they're gonna charge you $2 more.
Yeah, $2. Oh, we're having, right now, we're having a hoagie sale for the pool. The Marathon hoagies. The order's gotta be in July 28th. The hoagies will be delivered on August 6th. So there's sheets at the city building to order, and if anybody wants to take a sheet and get some orders for us, that's a pool fundraiser right now. But the pool is, like I said, doing very good concession stand admissions. I'm gonna try to call Kaiser and get the list of their lifeguards, since they're not opening, and see if we can get a couple more lifeguards, because it's very hot and our rotation's kind of limited right now. And I'm trying to get another class together if I can. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, let's see, one other thing. First of all, I think we ought to be thanking Jack and Joey and Rick or whoever tearing that, what they were doing over here in the orchard with that building.
Plan?
Yes. And as well as their store, and I think that's wonderful. Seeing progress in the town. And I'd also like to introduce my cousin sitting back here. He's a brand new Piedmont resident, That's Jeff Coleman.
Hey,
He's from Texas, and he moved here. So I wanted to officially welcome my cousin to Piedmont. He has bought a house, bought Inez house there, and he's a resident of Piedmont. So you got another Coleman to deal with from Texas.
Welcome to
So,
town.
yes.
From Texas, you didn't bring nothing more with you from Texas, did you? Just yourself and your family?
Texas by way of Florida.
Oh, just yourself, you didn't bring that coronavirus with you? No, sir.
All right, Texas by way of Florida.
Them boys
So,
get
that's
hard
all.
down there in Texas.
All right, if you don't have anything else to discuss, I need a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All in favor? Opposed? Next meeting will be July 15th at 12 o'clock here.